Hello and welcome back to In Defense of a Movie Podcast. My name's Dan and joining me as always is Aaron.
What's up, what's up, what's up?
Welcome to the season 4 kickoff of our humble little podcast show. How you doing, Aaron?
Oh, you know, got the old creaky knees and the creaking back, so can't complain.
That's good. We were AWOL for about 3 or 4 months there.
Yeah.
Getting a bunch of stuff done, going through some health stuff, but we're still here. This is not another 5-year break, as we promised.
Yes, definitely.
So why don't we get into that a little bit, and then we will discuss some films. Aaron, what have you been up to for the last few months?
I've been building a house for, I want to say this entire year. Well, I want to say probably for like the last year and a half. It has not been going fast whatsoever, mainly because I am doing about, I don't know, I want to say 75% of the work, just working by myself. So things take twice as long when you're by yourself. So it's kind of one of those funny things where I kind of think I have a handle on something and I'm like, all right, I think I should be done like by this time. And then easily you add another like 2 months to that timeline.
Yeah.
So, and if any of you guys out there have any experience with like, building homes or projects or anything like that, you guys very well know that like you got to leave a little bit of wiggle room, right? And that wasn't me.
Yeah.
I was very optimistic about how long this was going to take. Like I think I was telling you, Dan, I was going to be done by spring this year. Not even close to it. So yeah, it's one of those projects that has just been lingering on forever, but I am finally starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel.
As evidenced by this podcast recording.
Yeah, exactly. With that being said, I'm in my final push, just going as hard as possible to, while being as hard as possible. Sorry. But yeah, anyways, it's been a lot of work. I was a little bit naive, not gonna lie, but I'm making it through. But I also had to make certain sacrifices in order to be able to somewhat keep a timeline.
Yeah.
So, that means that like, I haven't had a lot of activities, I guess you could say, this year. Like I haven't done like things that I normally like to do, like camping, just getting out, visiting friends, hanging out. Had to cancel on my D&D group a couple times just because like I had to prioritize working on this. And so I am very excited that it is going to be coming to a close pretty close to the end of the year, assuming everything goes smoothly. But yeah, so that's kind of been a little bit of my life. What about you, Dan?
Yeah, so nothing nearly as exciting as building a house, that's for sure. But as somebody who works in millwork and works with cabinetry and all that kind of stuff, I know for a fact that building a house always takes longer and always costs more than you think it will.
Yeah.
Especially these days, like post-COVID, it is more difficult than ever to predict timelines on everything. Yeah. Everything, literally across the board. It's all kind of chaotic, and even folks that are building like massive houses are scaling back and doing value engineering and trying to figure out ways to get things quicker. And yeah, it's crazy. So obviously I empathize with that. That is a tough thing to do for sure, no matter who you are. But yeah, no, I've been just dealing with like a barrage of like little health things. I was dealing with some vocal issues and trying to get my singing voice back. Get my singing voice back as I clear my throat. Obviously, that has effects on the podcast and whether or not I can speak at length for long periods of time, and the time commitment it takes to do that, and dealing with some like blood pressure and anxiety junk stuff. But yeah, things have been going well. And I was able to actually release a song onto Spotify for the first time in quite some time.
Awesome.
Hoping that it's the first of many in a new batch of songs I've been working on. I mean, I've been...
The Scooby-Doo cover,
it's the
right?
Scooby-Doo cover, yeah.
Yeah. Just kidding.
I've been sitting on this batch of songs for a couple of years now, and I've just been slowly visiting and revisiting it. Recording vocals when I can, but never quite satisfied, obviously. So kind of having to go back and back and back. And
oh, yeah.
It's been a battle, but I got a song out. It's called Big Apple 3 a.m. It's under my name, Dan McIntyre, on Spotify, if you want to check it out. It's been doing pretty well for a nobody. It's been doing... I've been pretty surprised with the support. I think it's done better than any of the other stuff I've put out, maybe ever. So,
oh, awesome.
Yeah, so...
glad to hear that.
If you like... I don't know what it's comparable to. Kind of Angels and Airwaves-ish. Kind of rocky. Kind of in that zone. Alternate, post-punky, whatever. So anyway, yeah, if you want to check that out. But that being said, the podcast is all systems go. We're still obviously watching everything we can get our grubby little hands on. And we want to talk about stuff. So like we said... this wasn't another 5-year break. We're still here. Sorry for going AWOL, but...
we are just dealing with life right now.
Yeah.
And once we're in the clear, you better watch out, because there's going to be some episodes coming your way.
Yeah, life's got to come first. And, when you got a 5-year-old starting kindergarten and you're trying to build a house and you're trying to look after the very tool you use to record... with, which is, your voice. I mean, you gotta...
Your wiener.
You gotta take care of that thing. So, as they say, on with the show. We're so happy to be here. We're going to call this our season 4 startup, just because the way the break happened. We've been back for a year now already, which is awesome. Sorry we kind of missed out on like Thanksgiving stuff and Halloween stuff. There's so much for us to talk about, but for this episode, just because we want to get back in the groove, make sure that our energy's high and all that good stuff. We want quality over quantity. I know, Aaron, we talked about, having either me doing solo episodes or getting other guests involved to kind of fill in gaps. But it just feels so wrong to me. I can't wrap my head around it. Maybe we will. I don't know. It's tough, right? Because it's so much about mine and yours, our dynamic, right? So it's hard to replicate that. It is what it is. But we're here.
Yeah.
And season 4 is now underway. It's going to be a little scattershot at first, but we ain't going anywhere as promised. So that being said, Aaron, have you watched anything that you want to talk about?
Yeah. I actually watched The Running Man.
Ben Richards, 35, married, 1 child, in medical crisis.
We need money for a doctor now.
Ben, watch yourself.
Employment status, blacklisted. But there's still a way out for you. It's the biggest show in the country.
Bloodlust is our birthright! Set it free! Welcome to The Running Man!
I'm not trying to get myself killed, so kiss my ass twice.
Right there is why you can win this game. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. The entire nation hunting you down. And get your family out of slumside for good.
Before I get into this, I have to make a confession.
Yeah.
I have not seen the original Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it was a surprise to me too, because I think when I was younger, I made it a point, like, I'm a big Arnie fan, and I've made it a point to almost watch, like, every single one of his movies.
Yeah.
So it was a bit of a shock to
I can barely believe that.
Yeah, it was a bit of a shock to myself that I haven't seen The Running Man. And it was kind of one of those things where, well, obviously, like we were just talking about, just life has been so busy. So I haven't had a chance to check out the original. But also, part of me didn't want to watch the original just because, I don't know. I don't know if this happens to you, Dan, but do you find that, like, whenever you go and watch, like, a remake of a movie, you're constantly comparing it to the original?
Oh, yeah. Totally.
I kind of just didn't want to have that happen, you know?
Yeah.
I wanted to go in there not really knowing anything and just watch a movie. And with that being said, again, I have nothing to compare it to, but I will say it was a decent movie. It wasn't anything that like blew my socks off that I was like, oh, I can't wait to watch that again or anything like that. But in this day and age, with the quality of movies that are coming out and like how, you know, what ends up being like a hit and not. I would say that this movie was definitely entertaining start to finish, because it was I believe Edgar Wright that made this movie.
Yeah.
And I think he did a pretty good job with the script and everything and the flow. And I will say it was quite a decent movie. It was entertaining enough, and definitely is worth a watch, I would say.
Yeah.
The only bone I have to pick is not really something to do with the movie. I think it's just more to do with Glenn Powell. Dan, let me ask you this. How do you feel about him as an actor? Because for myself, like, I remember, what was it, Scream Queens. I was watching him in Scream Queens.
Yeah.
And he was like quite funny in Scream Queens, and he was like a dumb jock or something like that.
Yeah.
And he was kind of one of my favorite characters of that show. But as he's gotten more and more famous and kind of, more in the spotlight, I can't help but feel that there's just this weird Hollywood agenda where they're trying to push Glenn Powell on us. And I don't know how else to explain. Yeah, okay. And it's really weird. And so I'm kind of like, he's not like a terrible actor by any means or anything like that, but I just feel like he's shoved down my throat a little too much.
Yeah, I can't really wrap my head around seeing him as a leading man.
Mm-hmm.
I liked him in the Twisters movie that came out last year. That was really enjoyable. But at the same time, he wasn't really the main character. He was kind of just... he's a supporting character.
Okay.
Like, I'm definitely not rushing out to see something that he's in, I guess is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
I took one look at the trailer for this movie, and I don't know how else to say this, but it just felt like an Amazon Prime movie. Like, it felt like something that should be straight to streaming, like Heads of State or... what was that, like, jackpot movie with Awkwafina and John Cena? Like, one of those kind of movies that kind of just...
Oh, yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? I can't remember the name of it, but like...
all those Liam Neeson movies.
Yeah, they just have
out straight to stream.
They have a look to them. They have a quality, a pacing. I don't know what it is. They all kind of have the same personality. Yeah. And so this, especially having seen the original quite a few times and having a soft spot for it, because it's Arnold, Arnold action movies.
Yep.
I just didn't see enough of an identity or personality in the trailer to make me want to leave the house.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why I didn't watch the original, because I'm like, I know if I watch it, I'm just going to probably, like, there'll probably be a good chance that, like, I won't like this one. Like, I remember when they did Total Recall, when they remade Total Recall, right? And going into Total Recall, I was just like, what is this movie? I was like, this is nowhere near as good as the original Total Recall, right? And so, like, I really didn't want that to happen this time. So I guess, like, hearing you talk about it and just your thoughts on it, I think I may have did myself a favor there.
Yeah, but I mean, like you said, like, I'm sure it's a fine movie.
Yeah.
But that's like the impression I got. Like, I strangely feel like I've already seen it, even though I haven't seen it. And that's a weird feeling. I don't know how to describe that, but...
Well, I mean, technically you have seen it.
Yeah, it just feels like another Amazon Prime film. And and not even Netflix, but specifically Amazon Prime, because for some reason, they host a ton of movies that feel just like this and look just like this.
Yeah.
And, I don't know what it is. I couldn't really get past it.
That's fair enough. Unless you're going, like, on a cheap night at the movie theaters, I don't know if it's necessarily worth seeing in the theater, but definitely worth a watch when it becomes available to stream.
Yeah.
Stop filming me!
So, Dan, have you watched anything as of late?
Yeah, I mean, lots and lots of stuff since we went on break, obviously. But we're going to keep it simple for this episode. I'm just going to talk about one that's super recent, is the new Predator movie, Predator Wetlands, where he collects birds.
So this is your first hunt. And you've come to the most dangerous planet in the universe. You're after a creature that can't be killed. The definitive apex predator. I could help you. Well, Good luck with your journey.
Predator wet dreams for a second.
So, Predator Badlands from Dan Trachtenberg, the director of Prey and Predator, Killer of Killers. I went and saw it with my buddy a couple weeks back. I really liked it. For context, I really liked Prey. I liked the fresh take on it. And I thought Predator, Killer of Killers was really cool and fun. A side note...
That was the animated one,
That
right?
was the animated one, yeah. And a side note about Predator, Killer of Killers. I'm not sure if I mentioned it on the podcast or not. I can't remember. But Predator, Killer of Killers did a really bizarre thing where they basically scabbed on a post-credit scene after the show had already been out on streaming for a couple weeks. It was like a DLC post-credit scene. Now...
Yeah.
I was wondering if that post-credit scene had anything to do with this new movie.
Yeah.
It does not, but it does raise some curious, interesting questions. For some reason, Dan Trachtenberg is going all in on the Predator franchise. I don't know why. Like, it's kind of baffling to me because I'm like, man, of all the franchises I would like to tackle, it's just funny that somebody's like, you know what? I'm going to absolutely, like, because it's such a simple premise and a simple character. And Dan Trachtenberg has come along and just exploded the lore and created this whole mythos and really made these characters a lot more interesting than they probably have any right to be. So Predator Badlands stars, I'm going to try my best to say this, Demetrius Schuster Kolomatang. He plays Deck. They do this really interesting thing in this movie where he's wearing a suit, but the Predator face is CGI, just the face. And it's a really, really awesome way of doing it because you get the weight and the lighting and everything of a person really there in the shot. But of course, the face can articulate and do all the alien-looking things that a Predator has to do.
Oh, that's awesome.
Which is really cool. And seeing it in action, it's just a no-brainer. You wonder why they don't do it more often.
Best of both worlds.
Totally. It looks great. And Elle Fanning plays Thea, this android from the Weyland-Yutani company. She also plays another android as well, but I don't want to get too much into it as far as plot goes, because I know you're seeing it today.
Yeah.
So I don't want to...
I'm literally going to see it this evening, so I'm so excited.
I've seen a lot of mixed opinions on this movie. A lot of people think it's not macho enough and that it's been Disneyized in a sense. And I actually, I disagree with that. In the sense that I feel like this actually pushes the franchise in new and exciting and fresh directions. The thing that really interests me about Predator now that it never did before is now it feels like it could branch off and tell any number of stories. Whereas before, it felt like it was kind of vaulted, right? Like you had Predator 1, Predator 2, and then it felt like it was kind of just living in the comics and a video game here and there.
Yeah.
This new story feels like something right out of the Dark Horse run of comics. It's a little wacky in a sense. Like it's almost more like a Marvel movie in its tone where it's not maybe as gory as the older movies. I think it's PG-13. Obviously, the language isn't as spicy as the Predator movies. It's a little more, there's a lot more humor than you'd expect. But that being said, I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was fantastic. The music is stunning. We went and saw this in IMAX, and man, the sound and music in this movie just blew me away. Just above and beyond what I'd ever expect from a Predator movie. The cinematography was breathtaking, like this planet, the home planet of the, what's the name of the Predator race? I can never say it. It was all just gorgeous. It was like, I remember my friend leaned over to me and he was like, man, this feels like it could be like the opening shot of Mad Max Fury Road or something. And I was like, yeah, totally. Like this is
sick.
This is nuts. I thought the characters were great. The plot's a little bit thin. It's a little bit like typical in a sense. You know, it's a classic archetype story for what is essentially like a blank slate of a character. And it's cool to see different kinds of predators. It's cool to see what their dynamic is like and how brutal their race is and how kind of just a reminder of how alien their customs might be to us. It almost reminded me of like the the Spartans or something, you know, like the way they would treat their young and their mythologically speaking.
Gay.
Just shirtless and gay the whole movie.
Have you heard that thing that like apparently the Spartans were gay because they would fight for their lover or whatever the heck it is?
Yeah.
I think there's like a clip of Joe Rogan talking about it, but terrible joke anyways.
It's okay. I'm sure there's probably some gay predators, but after watching this movie, I'm not sure what their place would be in their society.
Honestly, I would be okay with a Predator movie where it's like like a gay predator fighting for his lover. Yeah. I honestly might be a pretty good movie.
The thing too that this movie does,
the romance movie we need.
Alien versus Predator, but it's like a Brokeback Mountain
I'm
style
okay
thing.
with that.
The thing that this movie does so well too is that it makes no secret of the fact that these androids are property of Weyland-Yutani. And that Weyland-Yutani has a big presence on this planet that the Predator finds himself at.
So they must be like gearing up then for a Predators versus Aliens movie, hey? You think so? Or do you think that they're just taking advantage that, Disney owns both of those?
Yeah, I think a bit of column A, a bit of column B. The thing that astounds me is it doesn't feel egregious. It doesn't...
Okay.
At no point in time are they like winking at the audience. They don't beat you over the head with it. They don't talk about xenomorphs. They don't mention them. They're not in this. It is literally just, it's just kind of showing how what's the word I'm looking for? How just Weyland-Yutani has their fingers in everything. And that's why it just felt like it was jumping off the comic book pages to me, because Weyland-Yutani is still this big bad corporation, but it's almost like they've spread themselves so thin that even they aren't really keeping track of the full extent of some of these projects that they have their hands in.
Okay.
And I just thought that was awesome, because if you watch this in the context of the older movies and Romulus and all the new stuff they're doing, this bigger universe is starting to unfold, and it's unfolding in... except for Alien Earth. We'll get to Alien Earth. Don't worry about that. But I'll go on record right now of saying that I really didn't like Alien Earth.
I as well did not like Alien Earth.
And so
I watched only 2 episodes.
Yeah, with exception of Alien Earth, I feel like a larger story is being told here, but it's being told in these micro stories that are slowly pushing towards probably like Avengers level movies, but at this point, I'm just kind of basking in the simplicity of it all. And I hope Dan Trachtenberg makes a dozen more, because this is, I'm curious to see what other Predator stories he has up his sleeve.
Yeah.
I saw, honestly, a lot of people were complaining online that it wasn't macho enough, that it felt demasculinized. And I was just thinking, like, man, have you seen Killer of Killers? Have you seen Prey even? Like, not all Predators are the exact same. And I think that's really cool and creates a bunch of different ideas for storytelling. Like, the whole premise of this story, Predator Badlands, is that this particular Predator, his name's Deck, he's the runt of his tribe. He's not even a part of his tribe yet, because he hasn't gone on the hunt. And we find out that his race, they call the weakest of their tribe. Like, he shouldn't even be alive anymore, because he's that much of a underdeveloped weakling. He's kind of like he's like the hunchback of the Predator universe, basically. Like, no one wants him around. So for him to go off on this defiant adventure and try to take down this nasty, nasty monster all by himself is really awesome, really entertaining. And I think people are being too dismissive of it in that regard, because, the next Predator movie might be a blood-soaked, testosterone-fueled, balls-to-the-wall movie, and it would fit right in with this. It's just, you just gotta wait, you just gotta wait, because there's different stories being told here. And
let him cook.
Let him cook, man.
Whatever.
Let him cook.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's a great movie, and I'm excited to watch it again. I really am.
Cool. That sounds really interesting, because the Predator movies, all the ones prior, like the Predator is almost always the bad guy, right?
Yeah.
So apart from like the Predator versus Alien movies, but what makes those Predator versus Alien movies so exciting is because you're kind of cheering for the Predator, right?
Yeah.
And it's like the aliens are the villains in those ones. But it's really interesting to hear that, because it's not a villainous take on the Predator, I guess. And so that makes me excited to to see it and to see how they expand the Predator homeworld.
I would say there's like 3 villains in this movie, and until you've seen it, I won't elaborate. But you have like this trinity of forces working against this character. And when you see it kind of come together on screen, it's really quite brilliantly handled. Like, this movie's probably better than it has any right being in terms of how this franchise has unfolded. Like, we tackled 2018's The Predator on this podcast, and that was admittedly like pretty hard to defend at the time. Kind of had to dig deep, and that's not a movie I'd probably soon rewatch. But this movie, it's great. I want to rewatch it.
All right, awesome. Oh, did you want to get into Aliens Earth at all, or
you know what?
I touched on it enough.
I honestly feel like we should maybe save it for the next episode because
sure.
I feel like I'm just gonna go off, and I
mean, hey, like if you want to go off.
Well, it's funny because I started taking notes on it, like when it first started airing, because I had every intention of tackling it with you, and then we both got busy, and I had my notes for Lost in Space, which we still have to do, release rather, and so like I was full on ready to just scorched earth it, and then I was like, you know what, let's give it time, let's watch the whole thing, and then I got through it, and I was just like kind of raging, like I was like,
okay. So is it good that I stopped at like the second episode?
Yeah, I fell asleep during 3 different episodes of that show. I mean, you and I, it's been well documented on the show that we are fans of this franchise, of Aliens, of Predator.
Yeah.
We've talked about them both at length. And it's like, I think I need to like save that energy for like a longer episode.
Sure.
Maybe the next one.
No problem.
Because there's a few other things I want to talk about. We just finished watching the latest, greatest Conjuring movie, and we finished Wednesday, and so.
Oh yeah, okay.
There's a few things.
I usually have a rule where if I fall asleep during something more than once, then I will not finish it ever again.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen to me a whole ton because like normally I'm pretty awake whenever I'm watching a movie. Like it has to really, really be bad for me to fall asleep during a movie. And so far, the last movie that I can remember that made me feel like that was that Black Adam movie. Tried to watch it twice. Watch it. Yeah, I tried to watch it twice and I fell asleep both times. And I was like, well, it's just not meant to be, I guess.
It's not exactly a glowing endorsement, is it?
No.
Well, that being said, we're back. We never went away. We were just hibernating. And we hope you enjoyed the episode. We'll be back with more shortly. And until then, guys, again, sorry we've been MIA or AWOL or whatever other military term you want to use, but we are here. We are watching movies. Yeah.
I don't know.
Aaron, do you have your Avatar tickets?
No, I do not. I didn't even know that. To be honest, I could care less about Avatar. I just like the first one was amazing. It was like so much new technology and everything, and then I don't know, it just kind of like lost it after.
Yeah.
And like, I think for me is like the time in between each movie is just way too long and it makes me like not care about it even more.
Yeah, I hear you.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you?
I did. Yeah. We're going with some friends and we went and saw the last one as well. Yeah. And it's kind of like, I think my approach to the Avatar movies is kind of like an attraction, like a theme park attraction where I experience it and then never, ever really watch it again. I know there is a fair amount of people that absolutely love these movies.
Yeah.
Not to take away from that. They're beautiful films, but I don't resonate with the substance of them very much for some reason. And so I think I go to watch them more as like look at this technological achievement in filmmaking and admiring everything. But as far as the story goes, I'm just not invested. And so,
and I think you hit the nail on the head there because I think I feel the same way too. It's cool to see because James Cameron is always kind of just leading the way in filming technologies and stuff. And so it's always interesting in that sense. But yeah, after the first one is just kind of like just more of the same pretty much.
Yeah, I think I said once back on one of our episodes a long time ago that James Cameron doesn't make a movie unless he's ready to innovate. Like he just doesn't, right? Like everything he does, he brings something new that no one's seen before. And my fear or worry is that you have this talented filmmaker that could be doing anything else, but he just got so bogged down in this universe that everyone's kind of lukewarm about. And it's kind of frustrating because I kind of selfishly wish he was still making brainless action movies, you know? So there's that side of it. I'm like, man, can James Cameron just like take a break for a few years with the Avatar stuff and like make another True Lies or something like that?
Yeah.
But
that I wouldn't mind that at all. But hey, what is this, the third movie? There's probably only going to be one more.
Yeah.
So it's like an earth, wind, fire, water themed.
He's got 2 more elements to do, doesn't he? Like wind and earth, and earth, wind, fire, water.
Well, the first one I would argue is, well, I don't know. I don't know if he's actually following that plan, but it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, we'll see coming December. So if you like what you heard, check out our library of episodes. Let your friends know we exist. Please leave us a rating or a comment. It really helps us grow and beat the algorithms. And we will see you on the next episode of In Defense of a Movie Podcast.
Bye.